Welcome back to the Go Fast Garage. If you guys have been following any of my videos so far, you know that most of my channel's been dedicated to my 1971 Ford F100, and today's no different. Today we're going to start tearing down the new motor for the truck. Right now the truck has currently got a supercharged 6-liter in it. That's been a lot of fun. It makes about 440 horse to the wheels, but I want more. So I got myself an 04 6-liter here, and this should be the engine with the better rods in it. So we're going to find out today, because we're going to tear this thing down and we're going to get it ready to open up the ring gap a little bit so it can take some serious boost. It's going to be getting a turbo. It's going to be getting a big Chinese turbo, that is. So it is somewhat of a budget build, but still going to have to spend some money on it, that's no doubt at all. But should be a lot of fun. Hoping to make 700 wheel horsepower. I want to feed this thing, 12 to 15 pounds of boost. So I want to go ahead and open up the ring gaps on it just to be a little bit safe and buy myself a little bit of cushion, I guess you could say. So when I'm tuning it myself, which I did on this engine and I'll do it again on this one, my learning mistakes, hopefully I won't blow it up. But if I do, I've got another engine over there, so no worries at all. So now let's get this thing tore apart and see what's inside. Okay, the first thing I'm going to take off here is the steam port, and this is what goes underneath the throttle body, crosses over, and it on the factory setup runs coolant through the throttle body. Next up, I'm just going to go ahead and pull the valve covers off. Just an 8mm. Down, and now's our first look inside the engine, and yeah, it looks nice and clean, right on. I got this engine from my friend Mike. He had plans on using it in his car. I traded him the truck for this engine, which doesn't seem like the best deal, but for me, I got the truck really cheap and I didn't have to pull the engine, so it all worked out. He needed a truck, I needed an engine, so put the two together, and this is what we both came up with, and I'm happy with that. Next up here, this I guess, I'm going to pull off all the bolts that hold the rockers down. Again, just an 8mm. Okay, and then this whole rocker arm assembly will just come out as one unit. One of the upgrades I'm going to be doing here too is I have a trunnion kit from BTR Racing, which I got actually from a friend of mine. Check out his YouTube channel, Boosted Lifestyle. He has got a mid 9-second Supra that he runs, and he is also now building a Mustang with a turbocharger, so cool stuff. And just throw the rocker arms on the floor, because why not, right? Alright, next we're just going to go ahead and pull all the push rods out. Well, these are a little caked up. They were cleaner on the engine that came out of that truck. But all in all, it looks alright inside so far. We'll know for sure when we pull the headers off in a minute here. Alright, I might as well go ahead and get this water pump out of the way. It doesn't have to come off to get the heads off, I don't think, but why not? Because it'll just be in the way because we're going to be pulling the camshaft out of this thing. And yes, I use chrome sockets on my impact, because why not? A little rusty here. I have no idea how many miles this engine has on it. Mike thought it had roughly 180,000 kilometers, so we're going to go with that. But yeah, a little bit rusty inside, no doubt. Alright, glad we pulled that off. Now, let's see if we can get this dipstick tube out without breaking it. Oh, that's not looking good. Okay, I broke the dipstick tube off in the block. Not a huge deal, I've done it before. I'll just have to do like I did last time. I just ran a lag bolt down into it, hooked my slide hammer up to it, popped her out. I'm going to go ahead now and pull the valley cover off, which on this engine is a 13 mil bolt. And the 13 mil bolts are supposed to lead us to believe that this thing has the bigger rod bolts in it, so we're going to see. But the first thing I'm going to do is undo these knock sensors, which are fun. Yeah, this one's got a bit of corrosion in here where the knock sensor is. Hopefully the sensor comes out all right. Because the one thing I'm going to do that I will replace on this is the knock sensors. It's just cheap insurance. You actually know what's going on with your engine a little bit better if we change those guys out too while we're at it. I'm going to get my vacuum vacuum out all the dirt I can actually see here now that I got this apart. Okay, I'm going to try to remove these knock sensors here. Why don't I get you guys a little bit better view? Yeah, one turns. That is awesome. When I did the knock sensors in my 05 GMC that I use for towing and everything, they both busted off flush in the block. So that was ugly. So far, so good. Let's see how this front one comes out. We can get on this front one. There's the right size. Shoot. Good. 2 winners. Nice. We'll be happy to replace these guys with fresh knock sensors because they are super cheap on Amazon. 30 some bucks with the harness, I think. No big deal. Just gonna throw these guys right in the bin. This valley cover should lift off. definitely a little sticky down around where the knock sensors were. Oh, now the engine's full of dirt. That's awesome. Let us get the vacuum out again. Okay, hopefully that's the last time I have to vacuum the engine out. Okay, some of you guys might be freaking out seeing the dirt going in the engine here, but it's really not that big a deal because I'm going to be pulling the camshaft out of this thing and throwing it in the garbage, and I'm probably going to be changing the lifters, and the cylinder heads are definitely coming off now, and we'll get plenty of chances to clean it all out. So I'm just going to kind of wipe some of this excess oil out of the cylinder heads here before I go ahead and pull them off. Hopefully they don't make too much of a mess. Judging by the rust in the coolant system, I don't think there's much left in there. But looks like somebody changed the oil more often than not, so that's a good sign. Alright, up until this point is actually as far as I've ever tore one of these engines apart. I didn't have to take that one all apart to do it in that truck, just took it apart. Well, I shouldn't say this is the farthest. I just never had the heads off one of these engines. I have to pull the balancer here in this cover, and then that'll give me access to the camshaft, but I'm not going to do that right now. First off here, I want to pull the cylinder heads off, then I'm going to flip the engine over. And I am putting everything into Ziploc bags just to keep them separated, and then I'll mark them all out. So, head bolt bag. Those are the little guys to get it started, and then those were a 10 mil. Now we're going to pull all these 15 mils. Some air to the compressor. I don't have it turned on now because it just makes too much noise. There we go. I'll fire up the compressor before I go to the other side. And for anybody wondering, yes, I do plan on reusing these head bolts. Hundreds and hundreds of guys have done it without problem. Hopefully I'm one of those guys that can do it without a problem as well. Here's if I can get them all out. Alright, let's pop the cylinder head loose and see what we got. Didn't even need to hit it. It's ready to come off. Oh no, here we go. Well, there's no water in there, but there is a ton of gross looking sludge. Did we have a failed head? No. Oh, there's the head gasket. Well, this one had multi-layer head gaskets in it. Well, this right here is why I decided to take the engine apart. You can see that there's some sludge, a little bit of water that got in there where this thing was sitting. Hopefully it's not too bad. But cylinder wall looks okay. I bet you that just happened when the thing was taken apart. Doesn't seem to have any scoring or anything. Actually, the cylinders look really nice inside here. And you guys can see it there, but even the pistons are pretty clean. So this thing must not have too many miles on it. Alright, I'll be back. I'm just going to fire up the compressor so I can get some more power to pull up this other cylinder head. Alright, let's see if we can pop this head off now and see what's inside. Oh, this one's got some water in it. Doesn't look too rusty because it's water and oil mixed together, but there's definitely a little bit of water in there. I don't know if you guys can see down in here, but there's definitely some water down in the cylinder, which doesn't excite me, but I'm going to soak it up and pull it out. Looks like we're going to be all right. We'll pull these bores out here. We'll hit them with some WD-40 to keep them from getting any grosser. I'm impressed though, the pistons don't look too bad. Alright, next step, I'm actually going to pull the oil plug on it and see if there's any oil in the engine. Oh boy, she is full of water. We got a bit of a problem here. Look at how much water just ran out of this thing. I'm gonna say that's a good half gallon of water poured out of this thing. So what are we gonna find inside? Guess we'll find out. Well, I was pretty excited about this engine before. Now I'm starting to have I think it might be a little questionable, but let's pull the oil pan off and let's see what we can find inside. More bolts for the sandwich bags. This is where we're going to find out what's really inside this engine. I was not expecting water. That's for sure. Well, it looks like it was dry up here. Well, folks, I think we may have gotten lucky. we can see on the oil pickup here where the water level is up to. So it looks like the engine itself never sat in any water, just the bottom of the pan. Yeah, you can see it's just a straight line right there on the bottom of the pickup where the water is sitting in here. So somehow water was running in through here, but I wonder how long and how much time it sat like that. Well, let's keep going and see what else we find. It's the 1 bolt for the oil pickup. Gentle pull. There's the O-ring, don't want to lose that. Alright, and then this piece here is called a windage tray. It's what keeps the oil from sloshing up into the crank and stealing horsepower. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that guy off next and have a look and see any rust inside. You know, I think we got lucky. I haven't pulled any rod bearings apart yet, but from what I can see here, everything's still oily. It's not milky. It looks like the water was just sitting in the bottom of the pan. So I'm going to go ahead and pull a rod and piston out together and have a look, and we'll see what we see. Rod bearing number 1. Well, they don't look too bad at all. A little bit of just some regular marks on there. See that? I think we're in luck. There's no rust there at all. There we go. That's piston number 1. And yeah, the rings don't look too bad. They're not all goobered up or anything. There's no rust in there. So I think we're going to be okay. Man, that was kind of scary when I saw all that water coming out of there. But I don't know, let me know what you think, guys. Think I should run this engine or not? I think I'm going to try. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do here is I've got my 3-stone piston hone, and I'm going to go ahead and just try to knock some of the glaze down off that cylinder. I don't think it's going to take much. I'm just doing this because I can, and we'll have a good look at it after. And like I said, this is just a deglazing hone. This isn't for boring or anything like that. It's just supposed to knock some of the striations off the side of the piston or the cylinder bore and bring us back to that crosshatch pattern that it had from the factory. I've done this job several times before, but mostly with snowmobile engines. But I'm just putting some WD-40 in there to kind of lubricate the cylinder walls as we go. And I'm not going to go too fast. I'm just going to make sure I'm on it here. Okay, like I said, not going to go too fast. I have very little tension on this right now. And I'm just going to go in and out a few times. There we go, that's about all it takes. Wiper down inside here and I'll show you guys what that looks like. Alright, hopefully you guys can see in there, but that's all it really takes is just a light scuff with those stones just to bring the crosshatch pattern back. And it's just a deglazing, it's not for anything else. And you can see in there, and that'll give our piston rings a fresh chance to seat in to the cylinder walls. Okay guys, that looks like it's about as far as I'm going to get today. The next step here is I'm going to pull these piston rings off and I'm going to sink them into the bore here and check the end gap clearance. And that's right here on these cylinders, or on these piston rings where they squeeze together. We don't want them to butt together under heavy boost, so we're going to put them in here and measure the distance between that ring when it's completely compressed. But for now, I cannot find my feeler gauges anywhere in my garage here. I've been tearing it apart for the last little while and no such luck. So that's about it for today. Let me know what you guys think. If you think I'm a moron for using this engine, let me know. If you think everything's going to be okay, you can comment below, let me know. But if you want to see what happens as I continue to build this thing and what we're going to use for turbo and manifold setup and how we're going to do the intercooler setup and all that, please go ahead and subscribe. I'm going to keep shooting videos as I go, good or bad, and we'll see what happens. But thanks for watching.